Good morning, everyone there under the sound of my voice. Welcome to this wonderful Saturday morning, the 14th day of the month of March, the year of our Lord 2026. Welcome to the Afia Home of Sports on Afia TV. This is your man, CC Emetebe, as usual, CC the Rabbi, and we're reaching you with the frequencies, channel 254 DSTV, channel 17 Go TV, and channel 748 Free TV. The weekend begins in earnest. Actually, it began yesterday, but it's pretty much going to culminate today. It's going to reach its peak today. So I hope you guys are already having a restful weekend, because this is the period where we refire. A wise man said something once. He said, don't retire, but refire till you acquire your desire. That is my word for you today. Welcome, guys, to the Afia Home of Sports. And I am not doing this alone. I'm here with the man that has many accolades, many names, that he changes like people change briefs. I'm referring to none other than the talisman, KP himself, the one that is called him. And have you forgotten that name that you called yourself? KP.
It's nice to be here, obviously, and I can't wait for us to get right into it.
Yeah, cool. I mean, it is great indeed. We're here, we're right into it. And we're going to start with news, actually the headline news on Afia TV, the headline news for this show, Flow. And beginning with the Npfl, just a reminder to tune in for everybody who watches Afia TV. Please do that regularly. Tune in to Afia TV on Monday, the 16th of March from 3:45 p.m. to watch the live coverage of Npfl game. That's going to be when Oga Boys, Ikorodu City, will be hosting Rivers United. That game is going to be a live broadcast. Remember, Afia TV is in collaboration with Afro Sports to bring you one live game every match week. And that's going to happen this Monday, the 16th of March, the year of our Lord 2026. The studio opens by 3:45 p.m. So as a result, I have to add this, there will be no Monday show that day for Afia. That is the Afia Review Sport, Afia Sports Review Sport. It will not hold because of that live coverage. So take note of that. Then in the Npfl, just news for those, and it's good news for the Flying Antelopes, that is Rangers International, because 3SC, that is Shooting Stars of Ibadan, lived up to their name, because they're Shooting Stars. They shut down Rivers United just a couple of days ago to ensure, they beat them 2-1 in Ibadan, to ensure that Rangers have a fighting hope to win the title. It must be remembered that Rivers United were out of the reckoning. They actually had games in hand because they were still involved in the CAF Champions League group stages. And those games piled up. But now they have just one game in hand, a very tricky game away to Niger Tornadoes. And that is something that should give a lot of hope to the Flying Antelopes, that is Rangers International, who are currently 2 points behind Rivers United. And then thirdly, in basketball, we talked about this yesterday, but just to give you a further reminder, South Korea have officially ended the Tigresses' 2-year unbeaten run in the FIBA World Cup qualifiers. Remember, the Tigresses, that is the female basketball team of Nigeria, are the champions, defending champions of the FIBA Afro Basket Championship. They won that 2 years ago. So they have been unbeaten in all competitions in 2 years. So that's why South Korea used home advantage and then got them to stop that run. And they'll bounce back. Rena Wakama's girls will bounce back. We are very confident of that. We get straight to what's going down in the Npfl. We've been talking about the Npfl. And in the Npfl round 30, match week 30 information, the games that are going to be played. One game will be played today, and we're going to talk about that. That's Bendel Insurance hosting Kun Khalifat. That match is going to be by 4 p.m. So if you are in the environment, you're somewhere there near Benin City, go to Samuel Ogbumudia Stadium and watch that game. That is an exciting game indeed between Bendel Insurance and the Owerri-based side Kun Khalifat. But apart from that, tomorrow we're going to have other games. And El Kanemi Warriors will be hosting Katsina United. Barao FC will be hosting Abia Warriors. Remo Stars will be hosting Nassau United. Then Eimba will be hosting Plateau United. Then Rangers International will be traveling to Kwara United to face them. Shooting Stars of Ibadan will host Wiki Tourists. Niger Tornadoes will host Kano Pillars. Bayelsa United will host Warri Wolves. And the game we just talked about before, Ikorodu City Oga Boys will be hosting Rivers United on Monday. That's the only Monday evening fixture in the Npfl. The Npfl is looking very, very interesting. We've been talking about that, and we can't help but talk about how close those margins for error still are.
Yeah.
There are still serious margins for error. There was a time at the start of the season that you could see there was a considerable amount of gap between the first team, and it's been changing. Ikorodu City were on top of the log at one point. Nassau United were on top of the log. Even Abia Warriors had a little spell on top. Rangers have been on top until Rivers United came and then took over that position there. So it's been a topsy-turvy situation for most of these teams. But one thing that has been constant is in the entire league table, you find out that there is no team, not one team, that has a 4-point buffer. It's even hard to find a team that has a 3-point buffer. I think the only team that has a 3-point buffer is Rangers over Nassau United. 50 points for Rangers, and the Nassau United are third with 47 points. Every other buffer is either a 2-point buffer or a 1-point buffer. Is this with 9 games to go, is this the tightest and craziest NPFL season that you've seen in recent times?
Yeah, yes, by margin. I think this is by far the tightest MPFL. Both title race, relegation battle, mid-table clash, whatever. The margin for error is really slim, and it's exciting to see for the neutral. But from the point of view of an analyst or just looking at the Nigerian game, I don't think it's such a good thing. I'm going to give my reason. You can just sit down and say, it shows the league is so competitive, anybody can beat everybody. But how many times do we see at any level of football where a team competing for the title, like now, Rivers United, lose almost in every 2 games, they lose 1 game, and they're still on top of the table. I know Enugu Rangers very soon, they're beating them down, they're going to hunt them down and topple them. But I don't know how common it is. And I think it's one of the reasons Nigerian football is struggling on the intercontinental stage. The fact that even within the league, we don't have a team that we could say this is a very strong team. They go and win anywhere they get to, and we can say it's normal. Now, Remo Stars being last place, could beat Enugu Rangers, even though that was the opposite result last week. We beat Enugu Rangers and we'll say, yeah, it's a normal team, it's away from home, is Nigerian football for you. But we are not creating teams that can go against the odds, beat anybody, go anywhere, win any game. So I think it's troubling. But obviously, as I said, watching the league as a neutral, the fine margins, they're interesting to watch. But from a tactical point of view, from being serious contenders on that front, I don't think it's a good thing at all.
Okay, well, your opinion is very valid. I get that. Although some will beg to differ, because what some will just look at is the competitive nature of the league. And, there have been circumstances surrounding things. Many teams are very interested in trying to grab points. We've been seeing, this is not exactly like it used to be many years ago, where it was a dead certainty that any team that is hosting at home, because of the 12th man and then let's say the 13th man, don't ask me who the 13th man is, will ensure that they have their 3 points, even to the point of maybe having a 25-minute stoppage time given, and then the referee being threatened, and then eventually the home team gets the win. Even if there's a penalty, give a penalty.
We have been through darker days.
The foul happens at the halfway mark. We've been through very dark days in the NPFL. The corruption that was there was horrible, but
still is, but reducing every day.
Comparatively, yes, reducing. Let's give them their flowers, because come on, we've seen worse things in other leagues too. But let's give them their flowers. I think it's massive competition. Yes, they've not been able to step up to the plate in terms of competing with their fellows, with their peers in other leagues, which is why we can say it's arguably that the other leagues in Africa, most of them are stronger. Most of the top leagues in Africa are stronger. Let's say more structured. I don't want to use the word stronger. More structured. You're looking at the South African Premier League. You're looking at the Egyptian Premier League, the Tunisian Premier League. You're looking at the Moroccan League. You're looking at Algerian League. You're looking at even... No, I will not say it. I will not say it. Charlie, please. I'm not even going to say it. I was thinking about saying the Ghanaian League, but no, I will not say it. No. I won't. But the point is, many of our contemporaries and our peers have better structures. And it's worrisome, but it's challenging. It's something that should challenge us to make a good thing better. Because let's tell ourselves the truth. The Nigerian Premier Football League It's a good league right now. It's better, much better than it was before.
Yeah.
But there is still room for improvement, and that's what we're hoping for.
What I'll say is it's a decent product now in Nigeria, and it could become a great product.
True.
And we all have a role to play in that, especially media, as we are now. We are covering, like, kudos to Afia, covering the local leagues constantly every week. We are doing this multiple times. But now the next step will be engagement from the bodies, the Npfl, the NFF, everybody coming together to see that this good product can become a great product. And one of the things that prevent that from happening is corruption. But most people are not aware that if this league becomes a great product, the money that they seek or chase after will be quadrupled. Like, the money that could be made out of the league will be way more than is being made right now. So I think we could get there. As I said, it's entertaining that the very few points between all the sides, but we can get better. We can have stronger teams and even a better league. But doesn't mean I won't be watching. I'll be there this weekend again to watch.
Yeah, we have to be there. I mean, if we're not there, what do we gain? We have to be there to watch and ensure that our league has all the patronage that it needs and it requires and it deserves. That's why we're here. Now, the Npfl table, after 29 games, well, 28 in the case of Rivers United, but 29 for the vast majority of the other teams there, it reached this way. After 28 games, Rivers United are top of the log with 52 points, and Rangers International have 50 points, 2 points behind Rivers United, with Nasarawa United in third position with 47 points. Abia Warriors are fourth on the log with 46 points. Ikorodu City are fifth with 45 points. And then Shooting Stars of Ibadan are sixth with 44 points. Then sharing 41 points you have in 7th and 8th respectively, Bendel Insurance and El Academy Warriors, while Warri Wolves, Plateau United are 9th and 10th, but they share 39 points. Goal difference separates both sides. Then you're looking at 11th place. Katsina United have 38 points. Barao FC are 12th with 37 points. Niger Tornadoes, Wiki Torres, and Kano Pillars are 13th, 14th, and 15th respectively, all sharing 35 points. Back to that issue of margin for error that we talked about. Yeah. And then Bayelsa United are 16th with 34 points, just a point above the relegation zone that starts with Aimba in 17th position with 33 points. Kwara United and Kun Khalifat are 18th and 19th with 32 points, while Remo Stars are rock bottom, the defending champions. Such a shameful season they're having with 30 points. Though back to that issue of margin for error. Yeah. But, I mean, it is what it is, and we'll see if there's going to be any change or tweak or shift in the marginal situations that we're seeing in the Npfl. Now, we go straight to the CAF Champions League. The CAF Champions League, yes, Nigeria is not involved anymore. The last Nigerian team that made it to the group stages went there to prove a point and to make a point, no pun intended, referring to Rivers United. And they went made. So a point was made, indeed, it was. Okay, fine, pun intended. The point was made and secured, but it was never going to be enough. That solitary point was on the road against the Power Dynamos of Zambia, and they couldn't even get the win away, so they were battered and bruised. But all the same, we're not talking about Rivers United with respect to the CAF Champions League because they have no business with that tournament. We are looking at the CAF Champions League quarter-final stage, and there were two games that were played yesterday. Mamelodi Sundowns won Stade Malien 3-0 in the first leg, and the AS FAR drew at home to Pyramids FC, the defending champions, 1-1. I think that tells us a lot about what's likely to happen because Pyramids are defending champions, and I feel for AS FAR because they are going to Egypt. And to say the Egyptians that you see today, you shall see no more, will not work this time around. Then, of course, tonight by 11 p.m., RS Berkane will face Al Hilal. Then tomorrow, being Sunday, Esperance de Tunis will face Al Ahly. That's going to happen there. The return legs are going to be later on. That's for the quarterfinal return legs. That will be next week. Well, Al Ahly will host Esperance de Tunis. Stade Malien will host Mamelodi Sundowns. Pyramids, like I said, will host AS FAR, and then Al Hilal will host RS Berkane. That's going to be next week. This CAF Champions League right now, you're looking at, of course, RS Berkane and Al Hilal will be facing each other, like I said, by 11 p.m. today. And then what to complete the first leg of the quarterfinals, we'll have Esperance de Tunis facing another Egyptian powerhouse. In fact, the most successful side in club football in the world. Talking about Al Ahly of Egypt have won more titles than any team, any registered team, with over 150 titles. That is crazy. They've dominated the Egyptian Premier League. They've dominated the CAF Champions League. They've dominated the CAF Confederations Cup. They've dominated every major domestic title and the intercontinental title. These guys are simply outstanding. But they have an away game against Esperance de Tunis. We've seen the result between Melody Sundowns and Stade Malien, and then AS FAR and Pyramids. But what do you think is going to happen? What results do you see happening between RS Berkane by 11 p.m. this evening and then Esperance de Tunis hosting Al Ahly?
Al Ahly versus Esperance de Tunis, one of the biggest rivalries in African football. Two powerhouses. But I'm not even going to say form right now. I'm going to say history. History. You can't just, it's just like Real Madrid in the Champions League. There's a love affair there that you can't explain sometimes, even when they're not in form. They just have a way of showing up. Yeah. So I this one around, I'm just going to be going for an Al Ahly victory. Okay. Al Ahly victory.
Al Ahly victory.
And then RS Berkane, one of the sides that's, our beloved, if they are our beloved, Rivers United faced in the group stage, and we're not able to pick up points against them. I think they are going to come up tops in their game this evening too. And I just want to say, the CAF Champions League is a beautiful tournament. I would like to see Nigerian teams, performing at higher levels there. A lot of rivalries that go back decades, and it's just refreshing for African football. See Melody Sundowns there again, competing well, trying to win their first title, I think, since 2016, when they won their last CAF Champions League. So many exciting games to watch, and I just hope that next season we can make it to these stages. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Enugu Rangers.
We'll be there,
and Afia will be there to cover them.
I wanted to clarify the we there. Sometimes
we are all Nigerians. Calm down first. Something on the teams. just say.
I'll reserve my comments. Don't worry. I'm going to be kind today. All right, in the spirit of kindness, we'll go on a very short break. When we return, we're going to move from Africa and then get to Europe, because there's a lot going down this weekend in European football and sports generally. Stay tuned. Don't touch that down. You're welcome back to the Afia Home of Sports on Afia TV. The frequencies are still the same. Channel 254 DSTV, Channel 17 Go TV, and Channel 748 Free TV. Welcome back, guys. And I want to seize this opportunity to thank the man, the talisman himself, the one that is called him, KP, who was here with us talking about the Npfl, the CAF Champions League. But his watch has ended, and now the watch of our next co-host begins, referring to the man that we call the Blessed Zik, Ziko Ngene. Zik, good to have you.
Yeah, pleasure. Good morning. Good morning, Africa. Good morning, world. It's a pleasure always to do this. Yeah. So let's go.
For 1 second, I thought you were going to say, good morning, my neighbors. But the expletive that follows is not what we should expect here. Okay. All the same. All right. So we want to get down to round 30 in the EPL, the English Premier League. It's getting very heated up. A lot is going down this weekend, getting closer to the finish line, deep into the final third of the EPL, the English Premier League. Now, the fixtures this weekend in the English Premier League, round 30, that is match week 30. Sunderland will be hosting Brighton and Hove Albion today by 4 p.m. at the Stadium of Light. Then Burnley will host Bournemouth at Turf Moor. And Arsenal will host Everton. That's going to be one of the late kickoffs by 6:30 p.m. at the Emirates Stadium. And Newcastle United will travel to Stamford Bridge to face Chelsea Football Club. And that's going to be by the same time Arsenal host Everton. West Ham United will host Manchester City in the late kickoff for Saturday at the London Stadium. Then Sunday fixtures will have Manchester United hosting Aston Villa at Old Trafford. Nottingham Forest will host Fulham at the Forest Ground. Crystal Palace will host Leeds United at Selhurst Park. Then the biggest game, I think it's safe to say that this is the biggest game, one of the top six, the so-called Big Six games. We'll have Liverpool hosting Tottenham Hotspur at Anfield, and then Brentford and Wolverhampton Wanderers will lock arms at the GTEC Community Stadium. That will be the only game on Monday the 16th by 9 p.m. So, Zeke, let's look at this. These are games that everybody is looking at and expecting different kinds of results. And like every league season, Usually, it's fair to say that some teams begin a league season with expectations and aspirations. Sometimes those aspirations end up being the same to the end of the season. And then sometimes they change. Like you look at a team, that's the team I want to refer to right now. The team that Tottenham Hotspur had a horrible last season, finishing 17th, just above the relegation zone. They escaped relegation, but the only thing that saved their season was the fact that they won the Europa League, which put them in the Champions League. And off the back of their performances this season so far, it's been like a misfit because they have struggled. They've been struggling, and right now they're relegation candidates because there's also a point about the relegation zone. But in all fairness, after they sacked Ange Postecoglou last season and then hired Thomas Frank, who brought a certain level of stability to Brentford when he was in England with Brentford, they had their eyes on finishing higher up the table, maybe in the European places, maybe not in the Champions League, but at least in the European places, because they feel that they're a big club. But what we're seeing right now is far from what they expected. And clearly, the only objective that Tottenham Hotspur have this season is to survive the drop, because it would be a shame for them to go down. But how much of a hit will that take if the current interim manager, Ikorodu, will suffer a fourth consecutive defeat? Because they're going to Anfield. They've struggled against Liverpool in recent seasons. Last season, they were beaten home and away. I remember the 6-3 win that Liverpool handed out to them at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Yeah. And I think it was a 5-2 win. Yeah, was it 5-2 or 5-1? 5-1 win, yes, in the corresponding fixture from last season. But
the fixture that decided the title.
Yes, eventually decided the title. Yeah, so. But what do you think about them? Do they have a fighting chance to beat this? Because it would take a brave man, not a wise man. I don't know how wise somebody would be to make that assertion. But it would take a very brave man, a gutsy person, to think that Tottenham Hotspur will get something from this game. What do you think?
Well, it's the game of football, finally. And the game of football, there are three possibilities. You either win, you lose, or you draw. And they always have that opportunity and that possibility to try and change their circumstances and their situation. I think the sacking of Ange was brutal because you are sacking someone that gave you joy for the first time in 17 years. And I understand it in the concept of their league performances, because at the end of the day, your bread and butter as a football manager is your league position, your league starts. What you do in the cup competitions are beautiful, but they are more of glory than actual substance. And Tottenham was not good enough last season in the league. But now bringing in Thomas Frank, personally, I will not lie, in August when it was announced that he was their new manager, was it August or June, July, whenever, I was happy for them because this is somebody that is methodical, that is straightforward. He has his own way of playing with Brentford, like you mentioned earlier. But it also seems like the step up was a bit too sudden, too rapid for someone like Thomas Frank. But would you say it was too rapid if Tottenham is just winning their first trophy in 17 years? It wasn't, but facts has proven to us that he wasn't the correct choice. That's Thomas Frank. Coming now to Mr. Tudor himself, what do we say? He's coming into a new league, new country, new culture. Football is still football. But, of course, you have to respect the football in England. The physicality, the temperament, even facing the media is a battle in its own.
Totally different.
Yeah, so I think they can survive, but it's going to be very, very, very difficult. Can they beat Liverpool? Is the question you ask?
Yeah, that's a question.
Of course. But remember that, like you said, Liverpool did the home and away over them last season. I think Liverpool also beat them this season.
Yes, but this time I think if we're going to have a silver lining in this, Tottenham put up a solid fight. There was when they went down to 10 men.
10 men, yes.
That Liverpool gained the upper hand and they won them 2-1.
Yes. And also remember, Liverpool were in that period of form where they lost 9 out of 12 in the beginning of season. So they were trying to, get confidence and momentum. So I'm looking at it as Liverpool also lost in the Champions League because it's also a factor. coming into this weekend's games for those that
They
were
both
involved.
lost in the Champions League, but Liverpool had a better, at least a more respectable defeat.
Yeah,
they suffered a more respectable defeat.
Coming to those that played, the two of them played in Europe. One was destroyed, one was beaten. Yes, with a hope. So I'm looking at it with the position whereby Liverpool need to build up momentum for the coming fixture that is going to be also at home against Galatasaray. So I don't see Tottenham surviving. I see another L for Ikorodu loading.
Yet another L loading. Okay, I want to go back to the last time Tottenham beat. I'm trying to check, when did Tottenham even get a win over Liverpool at Anfield?
That must be quite long.
Donkey's years. When I say donkey's years, I mean donkey's years.
We should be talking 80s, 90s.
I just want to verify this to get people know how massive the task is for this Tottenham Hotspur side. And in all honesty, yes, the last time Tottenham Hotspur, I'm not laughing at Tottenham Hotspur fans, please, but I just want to give you context. The last time Tottenham Hotspur lost, or rather beat Liverpool at Anfield
in the league, that was on the 15th of May 2011. And they won 2-0. Luka Modric and Van der Vaart were the goal scorers. That's Roy Hodgson.
Roy Hodgson's era, yes. There were still goal scorers there. They beat, just to give you the lineup so you can understand how long ago this was. In the lineup then, you had for Liverpool, Pepe Reina was the goalkeeper, and then the defenders, you had Glenn Johnson at right back, John Flanagan at left back, Skirtle and Carragher. Carragher was still playing then at centre back. They had the Kaut was there, Jay Sperrin was there too. Then Leiva, yes, Lucas Leiva was there. Then Maxi Rodriguez was also there. These are starters, and the Carroll and Luis Suarez were there, and then these were the ones that led the line. Then for Tottenham Hotspur, Paul Crouch was leading the line there. Yunus Kabul was at right back. Danny Rose at left back. Dawson and Ledley King were centre back pairing. Then in the midfield, had Steven Pienaar, the South African, was there at the left wing. Then Aaron Lennon was there at right wing. Luka Modric and Van der Vaart were in the midfield. They both scored the only goals in those games. In that game, then Sandro was there. That and then Kudicini, the former Chelsea assistant.
I was thinking it was Fredo.
My brother.
Then.
It's been almost 15 long years.
15, 16 years, you're right.
15 long years. Please, let's not...
That's why I say I don't see them being able to win Liverpool in this weekend because the confidence is on the floor.
The confidence has taken...
You understand? It has been gradually declining from the Thomas Frank era to now this Ikorodu.
Yes.
And just imagine the way Ikorodu reacted after subbing Anthony Kinski against Atletico Madrid. It tells you that the man is willing to throw anybody under the bus.
He doesn't care.
Just to sub. Yes. And yet his tactics are not actually bringing out the required response or the reaction that the fans of Tottenham would expect of their team. 3 games, 3-L. I don't see them getting anything. Liverpool need to respond to build up that aura of Anfield to await Galatasaray.
So just based on, just to be clear, I think we're all agreeing that a 4th L is loading.
Yes, it is already loading, waiting for them.
Because Liverpool are 6th on the log right now with 48 points. They are just behind Chelsea by goal difference. They have to fix that. Because if you check it there, Liverpool has scored 48 goals, considered 39 goals, which means they have a +9 goal difference. But Chelsea have scored 53 goals and considered 34 goals. Chelsea have a +19 goal difference. They have a lot of work to do to bridge that gap.
Yes.
And they are seeing Tottenham Hotspur as obstacles.
Of course.
It's not going to get very good for Tottenham Hotspur today.
Obstacle.
Yes.
And Liverpool do score tons of goals recently at Anfield. So why not?
Okay, so let's get to the issue of predictions before we go to the other leagues. Let's start with Sunderland Brighton. I did this yesterday with KP, but it's a good thing that you're here, so I need to hear your predictions concerning these games that will be played this weekend. Sunderland will be hosting Brighton and Hove Albion. Scores?
Draw. 1-1.
Okay. Burnley will host Bournemouth.
Burnley will host. I think Bournemouth will win.
Bournemouth, away win for Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Arsenal will host Everton.
Should be a difficult game. I want to say a draw, but Arsenal might just sneak it 2-1.
Okay. Then Chelsea will host Newcastle United.
Both teams were okay.
No, Newcastle
one was destroyed. Yes.
They even put up a very good performance against Barcelona.
2-2.
Another draw.
I want to say Newcastle to win, but I don't know how because their season also has not been good enough in the Premier League. So I just want to give them the hope of not losing. Or let's just go Newcastle to win.
Okay, West Ham United, Manchester City. This is a tricky one. I need to hear you.
West Ham.
No, Man City. Well, I think Man City are still confused because it's bad enough that you concede 3 goals without reply against Real Madrid. Then when you have Fede Valverde scoring a hat-trick.
But we are not making it seem... Are we making it seem like Valverde is not a good player? He's a world-class player.
I'm not talking... No, of course he's a world-class player, but I'm talking based on... Okay, saying...
You are not... They are usual culprits.
Saying Fede Valverde scores a hat-trick is like saying... Enzo Fernandez, for instance.
But they can, but it's very rare. Not their job.
It's very rare. It's not their primary job, especially if you're somebody who's deployed defensively too. He plays a right back sometimes. So that's part of the confusion. If you're talking about somebody scoring a hat-trick against, we'll get to that in a bit anyway, when we talk about the Champions League. But when you talk about somebody scoring a hat-trick for Real Madrid, the usual names that come to your head are Kylian Mbappe, who didn't play, Gonzalo Garcia, maybe even Vinicius Junior. You could say that. Brahim Diaz, maybe an outside chance. Not Fede Valverde. So they must be scarred. So that's what I'm asking right now. Mentally, Man City may still be scarred.
Yes.
So what do you think is going to go down?
I see City winning, but it will be a very difficult game because West Ham are in form. I think they are still in the Carabao. No, are they?
West Ham are through. They are still in the FA Cup.
They are still in the FA Cup.
They beat Brentford on penalty.
So their season is quietly, hitting strides. Somerville is in the form of his life. Is ridiculously good. I think the business they did in the January was quite good enough, bringing in good players that will supplement.
Okay.
So I see them giving Man City a run for their money, but just losing narrowly 1-2.
Okay. And then Manchester United, Aston Villa.
United to win.
Okay, they don't have too many games to play now, so it's expected. Nottingham Forest, Fulham.
Oh, Forest are going to be hurting from their defeat against Midtjylland in the Europa League. So, why not Forest to win?
Okay, home win for Nottingham Forest. And 2 Nigerian brothers. Actually, 4 Nigerian brothers are likely to face each other. 5 Nigerian brothers are likely to face each other. Awoni, then welcome Samuel Chukwueze, Alex Iwobi, and Calvin Bassey. Wonderful. So the Nigerian derby, we're looking forward to it. Then Crystal Palace, Leeds United.
Crystal Palace, Leeds United. I see Leeds winning.
Away win for Leeds United at Selhurst Park.
Yeah.
Okay, Liverpool, Tottenham Hotspur. We didn't get a scoreline. We've established the fact that
I don't know what the scoreline. I'm not good, but I feel Liverpool will win like comfortably 3-1.
3-1, okay. Yeah. Then Brentford, Wolverhampton Wanderers.
Wolves are picking up form, but it's just going to be a little too late. Brentford to win.
Okay, so Brentford win. Let's go to the Spanish La Liga very quickly and then give you the fixtures for the next round. That is match week 28. Alaves and Villarreal had a 1-1 draw yesterday. They shared the spoils yesterday. And then today we're going to have Girona hosting Athletic Club, Athletic Bilbao. Atletico de Madrid will host Getafe in a Madrid derby. When you say the Madrid derby, there's only one Madrid derby. There are other Madrid derbies too. But when you talk about Real Madrid...
there are other derbies in Madrid.
Yeah, good. Thanst you for that.
Other derbies
There's
in Madrid.
the Madrid derby and there are derbies in Madrid.
Yes.
So let's put it that way. Then Real Oviedo will host Valencia. Real Madrid will host Elche. Then Mallorca will host Espanyol. Barcelona will host Sevilla. Real Betis will host Celta de Vigo. Real Sociedad will host Osasuna. And Rayo Vallecano will host Levante. These games are all going to be played on Saturday being today, Sunday and Monday. Let's just,
I think there's been a game yesterday, Villarreal.
Yeah, Alaves, Villarreal, okay. Yes. We mentioned that one. That's the first one that happened there. But I'll just pick some select games because of time. Clearly, we look at Athletic the Madrid derby in Madrid, that is Atletico Madrid against Getafe,
yeah,
and then Real Madrid Elche, and then Barcelona Sevilla. So first of all, let's start with Barcelona Sevilla. How does this play out to you? Akko Adams is proving to be a very, very astute addition to Sevilla, doing a very good job. In fact, he has overshadowed his Nigerian teammate. I'm talking from Nigerian perspective now. He overshadowed Chidera Ejuke in terms of his contribution to the pitch, to the team. The Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan fans there love him a lot.
Yes, that's true.
Is he likely to? I know you're Barcelona buyer. I know that. I get that. But in all objectivity, how much of a thorn in the flesh will an informed Akko Adams be against Blaugrana?
Firstly, I don't have, but I just have to be objective in whatever I say.
If you say so.
Because when it comes, Sevilla have already beaten Barcelona this season 4-1. Akko scored, I think, the third goal, the fourth goal in the drubbing in the first leg at the Sanchez Pizjuan. I think it's going to be a difficult game, no matter what, because Sevilla always have that difficulty about them. There's a Spanish word I'm trying to find, the gancha. There's that difficulty about the way they play. Whenever they see Real Madrid, Barcelona, they always like to make it difficult. But I just feel because Barca at home, they always score 3 goals and above. So for you to get even a draw, you have to score 3 goals. And this Sevilla team cannot score. Akko can score, but who else? They don't have as many goals as possible. He has 7 goals in La Liga. And the next hand, he's the highest goal scorer. So they don't have a lot of goals in their team. And like I said, you have to score 3 goals against Barcelona at home to win Barcelona. Or to even get a draw, not even to win. I don't see them doing it. So Barcelona to win.
Barcelona to win. Because what you're talking about, Barcelona have played 13 times in Catalonia.
In all their home.
And they've won all the games. This will be the 14th. So Sevilla will have to do something special to be the first team to...
I just stated the facts. You have to score 3 goals to even get a draw. And so we are not even talking about winning. Every match Barcelona have won in those 13 games are 3 goals and above. So I don't see them doing it. They can score. That's why I say that Akko can score because he's their top highest goal scorer, 7 goals. But I don't see them having enough goals to trouble Barca.
Okay, so we've seen that. So that's Barcelona, Sevilla, a win. Scoreline?
4-1.
4-1.
Yes.
Okay, so just tit for tat.
Maybe.
Aura for aura.
Something like that. Give them back.
Okay, give them back now. The
main thing is they need to get as many points as possible because Real Madrid is not yet dead.
No.
And you see the confidence that they have gotten from that win against Manchester City. It tells you that they are willing to go to the death with Barcelona. And I see them winning Elche because they drew against Elche in the beginning of the season 2-2 when they were not really understanding themselves with all the Mbappes, the Bellinghams. Now with those players not there and the siege mentality from the win that they got against Man City, I see Real Madrid winning as well against Elche, maybe 3-1 or so.
Okay, so Real Madrid, Elche. Okay.
Yeah.
Then that leaves out Atletico Madrid up against Getafe.
Yeah, Getafe drew won against Real Madrid at Santiago, I think 2 weeks ago, a week ago.
Yes, it was
1-0.
Yes, 1-0.
Yeah, Martin Satriano. So Getafe is not an easy team to play. They have also defeated Villarreal a week before they won Real Madrid 2-1. So Atletico need to be careful, but Atletico at home scores a lot of goals as well. They are not the normal Diego Simeone team that people would think 1-0. No, they score 4, they score 5. You saw it against Tottenham. I think they might run up. They might try to run up the score against Getafe, but Getafe is a difficult team. Jose Bordalas, so 2-1 Atletico or 3-1 Atletico as well.
Okay. 2-1, 3-1 Atletico.
Yes,
they will win. Have to watch out to see which Atletico will come about. I mean,
yes, it's true.
They showed us a typical example of their Jekyll and Hyde antics against Real Betis. Real Betis.
Okay.
That alone, they thrashed Real Betis in Copa del Rey 5-0 away in Andalusia.
Yes.
Only for them to welcome the same Real Betis in the La Liga and collect one. Anyway, Atletico Madrid, let's watch and see. I want Lookman to show himself there in that game. All right, so let's go straight to the Italian Serie A. In the Italian Serie A, we have some very important games, blockbuster games too, a few of them anyway. But yesterday, Torino thrashed Parma 4-1. And then from today, we're going to have Internazionale hosting Atalanta in the Giuseppe Meazza Stadium, San Siro also. And then Napoli will host Lecce. Udinese will host Juventus. Verona will host Genoa. Sassuolo will host Bologna. Pisa will host Cagliari. Como, Fabregas Como will host Roma. Lazio will host Milan. That is another big game. It has a bit of history there. Then Cremonese will host Fiorentina. I think no need to look at any results on that one.
You didn't call Milan, did you?
Yeah, I did. Lazio Milan.
Okay.
Lazio Milan.
That's a blockbuster game.
It is indeed.
Even though Lazio are currently suffering and inconsistent under Sarri.
Yeah, but let's see how it plays out. So that's the Italian Serie A. The standings remain Internazionale with 67 points at the top, with Milan 7 points behind them in second, Napoli third on the log, and then Como, Cesc Fabregas Como, having a wonderful season, fourth on the log right now. And then
can they do it?
Como, can they do it? Como have, let me just point out something. Como have the third best attack.
Yes.
In the Italian Serie A, third best attack with 46 goals. Only Inter and Juventus have outscored Como.
Yes.
Only Inter and Juventus have outscored Como.
They are in the first three for both defensive and attacking.
They're defensively, defensively. You say first three. Defensively, only Milan have considered 20 goals. Como have considered 21 alongside Roma.
That's what I'm saying.
Only, so
they're in the first three.
Yeah, so they are the joint second. They have the joint second best defense. So it's not a surprise that Como are where they are right now. Fantastic season indeed. So Como are fourth on the log. Roma are fifth. Juventus are sixth. Atalanta seventh. Bologna eighth. Sassuolo ninth. Lazio 10th. Udinese 11th. Parma 12th. Torino are 13th. Genoa 14th. Cagliari 15th. Lecce 16th. Fiorentina are 17th. And in the relegation zone, you have Cremonese 18th. Verona are 19th. And then probably Pisa, who are the basement boys, will be serving pizza to the rest of the Italian Serie A when they go to Serie B.
If time would permit, I would just a little bit on that Como. Because it's not even this season only that they're actually having.
No.
The season has started prior to last season. Yes. They had a good season last season. But because it's Como, nobody knows them. They are just a provincial team or a team that just came up from the division. People don't take advantage or do not observe them as much. Fabregas have been doing wonders. He has been trying different techniques, different tactics currently about football. And it has been working so far, so good. But now he has taken them to the next level in terms of their approach. And it's very, very beautiful to see when teams that are not supposed to be there doing those kind of things. And I really, really enjoy watching them.
Oh, yes, you're echoing my sentiments and the sentiments of many others who are around there. Clearly, we're going to give Cesc Fabregas his flowers, Francesc Fabregas Soler his flowers, and then also everybody who has been playing in Como, everyone working behind the scenes in Como FC. Now, because of time, we can't go to the other league fixtures in the other parts of Europe, like the German Bundesliga and then the French League. But we have to go quickly to what went down this past week in the UEFA Champions League round of 16 and then the Europa League and Conference League round of 16 playoffs. Not playoffs, round of 16 proper, first leg. Galatasaray beat Liverpool. You heard when the Blessed Zik talked about that earlier. Galatasaray beat Liverpool 1-0 in the first leg. Atalanta were thrashed, battered and bruised at home at the Bergamo by Bayern Munich 6-1. Ulisse grabbing a brace in that game. Then Atletico Madrid reminded Tottenham Hotspur that they have no business being in the Champions League by thrashing them 5-2 at the Wanda Metropolitano Stadium. Then Newcastle United and Barcelona shared a 1-1 draw, a very, very even match in many respects because Newcastle surprised everybody in that game. It took a late equalizer after Harvey Barnes' goal from the man himself, the boy himself, call him a boy for now. That's Lamine Yamal in 6 minutes of stoppage time from the penalty spot. Then Bayer Leverkusen were denied the 3 points by a very late penalty scored also by Kai Havertz, returning home to Bayer Leverkusen, where he made his name in the German Bundesliga before going to England, to Chelsea, who didn't remember his exploits, but now they remember him. Bayer Leverkusen remember him this period. And he's the one that scored against his former side to give Arsenal an advantage going to the second leg at the Emirates next week. Then Bodo Glimt continued their fairy tale run by thrashing Sporting Lisbon 3-0. Paris Saint-Germain gave Chelsea a 5-star performance and revenge in the process, 5-2 at the Parc des Princes. And Real Madrid pulled off, I think, one of the biggest shockers of this, considering the fact that they were decimated, was one of the biggest shockers, a 3-0 mauling of Manchester City, Pep Guardiola's Manchester City, and it stung more, not just because Pep Guardiola is cool, he's from Barcelona, but also because a very unlikely hat-trick hero was the one that grabbed the match ball, referring to Fede Valverde. So that's what happened in the UEFA Champions League. Return legs are going to be played this week, coming week, on Tuesday and Wednesday. Then we look at the CAF. Did I say CAF? Oh my goodness. Okay, we look at the Conference League. First of all, the Europa League. Then before we go to the Conference League, Europa League, UEFA Europa League, and then the Conference League, Europa League games that went down. We look at, first of all, yes, in the Europa League, round of 16, 10-man Panathinaikos beat Real Betis, 10-man Real Betis 1-0. Then Stuttgart lost at home to FC Porto 2-1. Bologna and Roma, an Italian derby, took place, but they shared the spoils 1-1. Lille lost at home to Aston Villa 1-0, and Oli Watkins' goal. Genk beat Freiburg 1-0. Ferencváros beat Braga 2-0. Then Nottingham Forest, just like Zeke mentioned earlier, Nottingham Forest lost at home to Midtjylland 1-0. And then Celta de Vigo, 10-man Celta de Vigo, had a 1-1 draw with Lyon. So both games, the return legs are going to be played on Thursday, this coming Thursday, to determine who is going through to the quarterfinals. And then we go to the UEFA Conference League. In the first leg in the Conference League, also happened on Thursday. We had these results. Like Poznan lost at home to Shakhtar Donetsk 3-1. And then Rijeka lost at home to Strasbourg 2-1. Samsunspor lost at home to Rayo Vallecano 3-1. Azad Alkmaar beat Sparta Prague 2-1. Sigma Olomouc and Mainz 05 shared a goalless draw. Then Sheshir lost at home to AEK Athens 4-0. Fiorentina beat Rakov 2-1, and then Crystal Palace could only muster a goalless draw against AEK Larnaca. I think that's about as much as we can take because of time. But no, blessed Zeke, thank you very much. Really appreciate your contribution.
Pleasure always to do this. I hope that the weekend lives up to its billing, and the games that we talked about do give us excitement and a lot more to talk about next week.
We can only hope so, even though hope is not a business strategy. But all the same, we can just hope and keep hoping. Thank you very much, guys, for being with us on the Afia Home of Sports. We'll do this again next week. But I want to appreciate everybody who's been involved. First of all, thank you very much to KP, the talisman, who was here earlier in the first half of the show. I thank you very much, Goodness, for what you do behind the scenes. You're a fantastic person indeed. And then I thank everybody who's been involved in the PCR and MCR. Thank you very much. Moxie is there. Thank you. Jonathan is there. Thank you very much, too. Then we have the guys there. That's on the MCR, I beg your pardon. And the PCR, thank you very much. Amaka, Chiamaka, you're the bomb. Thank you. And I want to officially welcome David to the team. Thank you for what you do there, too. And then American Madoka, the priest of football, the self-acclaimed priest of football, who I will not yab for reasons best known to me. Thank you very much. Also, I know that you're behind the scenes. And everybody who's been involved in making this a success. We'll do this again tomorrow. Not tomorrow, sorry. We'll do this again next week. And we are going to meet on Thursday during the banter box, because on Monday, we're going to have the live coverage